Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sarah Schultz. I am a realtor in the Northern Nevada market, serving Reno, Sparks, Carson, and all the surrounding areas. And on today's video, I thought it would be super helpful to give you guys kind of the context of why my last 5 clients moved here. The bulk of my business, about 90% of the clientele that I help in real estate are relocators just like you who are moving to our area. All right, number one, and this one might be really obvious, but maybe you didn't know, Nevada has no state income tax. This is one of the biggest financial incentives for people who are relocating here, especially if they're coming from a state that has a really high level of state income tax. It's gonna feel like a huge relief to come here and not owe that money at the end of each year. It means that people who are able to work remotely have a huge incentive to move here, right? Like if you can work anywhere and live anywhere and you cannot get taxed on your state part of your income tax, that's a huge break. So we're seeing a lot of people who maybe during COVID times realized like, hey, I'm able to work remotely, and they just kind of kept the ball rolling. Or maybe some people who have kind of a hybrid where they can work from home most times and then maybe have to go into an office occasionally. This is a huge incentive for people like that. This tax benefit also extends to businesses, which is making it a really tax-friendly environment for startups and companies that are kind of in their early phases and are growing. We're seeing a lot of that here too. There's a huge creative spirit and vibe that kind of lives in the air here. I love it. I think it's cool. But that's something that is really a huge selling point for our area. Number 2 is our proximity to Lake Tahoe. A lot of people want to live in Tahoe, right? Or they think they do till they get here and realize that it's actually like really trafficky. There's a lot I could say about Tahoe. I love Lake Tahoe and I do love that it's right there, but I also just love that I live in a city right next to the lake. That said, a lot of people move here because they want the amenities of, a decent sized city, but they want the proximity to Lake Tahoe. So like here in Reno and in many parts of our city, you can kind of live without all the burden of shoveling snow and being gridlocked in one road that goes around the whole lake to, if you want to get groceries, you're not like trapped in that on a weekend when the population doubles or triples. However, if you want to go skiing, snowboarding, lounge at the lake on the beach, you can just drive between 30 and 90 minutes depending on which end of Reno, which end of the lake you want to be at, and enjoy all those benefits without having to live at lake level. Another thing that a lot of people don't realize, and they are pleasantly surprised when we start getting into property searches, property alerts, they start really looking at listings and all the details, is that Nevada has one of the lowest state property taxes in the whole country. While our actual median sales prices are on the rise and mortgage interest rates are high, the property tax is one thing that kind of outweighs a lot of other things, kind of contributing to the overall affordability of buying real estate here. And I think that's super cool. It's something that a lot of people don't know about. Even as Reno continues to grow, which is happening kind of on an astronomical scale in recent years, we're still, by comparison to California or other states, so much more affordable when it comes to property taxes specifically. This makes our state as a whole really appealing for both investors, but also retirees who are looking to move somewhere where the tax burden is not going to be astronomical and it's not going to hopefully rapidly increase over time. Another reason why I'm seeing so many clients move here is because of job opportunities. Obviously, we are kind of becoming a major tech hub on the West Coast as we're seeing this kind of mass exodus from California. We're right next door. People say all kinds of funny things about Nevada, that we are, the far East Bay, the East Bay, California's smoking section, casino reference, I'm guessing, but that's how this city is really being talked about, and we're seeing it as Tesla, Panasonic, Amazon, Google, they're all investing here, they're all coming here, and they're creating a lot of job opportunities. Yes, some of those people are coming in from other states to work those positions, but they're also doing significant hiring within our community, which I think is really cool. It's causing a huge amount of growth in tech, healthcare, manufacturing, service industry jobs. I mean, we have a lot of opportunities here for people who are looking to relocate. And a lot of the reason why people are relocating is for their jobs, right? Like they're just being transferred here. I see that all the time. A lot of my clients are moving here for work. Overall, the cost of living here is still significantly less expensive than living in Silicon Valley, but your pay, your compensation for similar jobs is really comparable. So that's making this a very appealing destination for the workforce in those sectors. Last but not least is for the weather. We have awesome weather here. We have 4 distinct seasons. We also have so much sunshine. If it's not like actively storming here, it's really rare to see a cloudy day. Like it's really, in general, pretty bright and sunny. We have definitely heavy winters by comparison to other similar sized cities, I would say. Certainly compared to Las Vegas, which is obviously a much bigger city, but in the same state. Obviously, it really snows heavily up at lake level in Lake Tahoe. We don't get as much snow here as they do there, even if it's only like a 30 to 90 minute commute. Obviously, the altitude there is higher. You're on a lake, so they really get smacked with snow. I have friends who live up there that every winter they're like, I threw out my back shoveling. Like, we don't really have that here. There may be a few times a year where you might have to shovel depending on which neighborhood you live in. But in general, now don't come after me, but in general, if it snows here by the afternoon, the snow's already starting to melt when the sun hits it. So that makes it a pretty mild place to live, but also enjoy all the snow sports. Fall is beautiful. The leaves change. I'm from New England, so like you can't really touch that as far as like leaf peeper season. That's what they call it on the East Coast. But we do get the changing foliage, nowhere near to the same extent, but it is different from other seasons here, which makes it more distinct. Spring weather here is absolutely to die for. I think it might be my favorite season here because it really does start to thaw and warm, and we get all the greenery and all the lush plant life, but it's before it gets really hot. Sometimes in the summer, depending on the kind of winter that we've had, summers can be super hot and dry. Not every year, and certainly nowhere near as dry and hot as compared to Las Vegas, but spring here is amazing. I live for those like 70-degree days that are sunny and warm enough, but like it's nice at night to throw on like a hoodie or something. That's the kind of weather that we get to enjoy here. All right, you guys, what questions do you have about life in Reno? I'm your girl. I'm your boots on the ground. I'm happy to answer questions, or if you have real estate questions at all, I can help you. You can book a free call with me. There's a link to do that in the show notes below. It's no obligation, just a chance to connect and see if we might be a good fit to work together, or at the very least, just get your questions answered and put a winning strategy in place. And if you haven't already, please hit that like and that subscribe button. I put out new videos every single week about the Northern Nevada lifestyle, the Reno Sparks real estate market, and of course, all things to do with buying and selling real estate. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week.